Following that formula, using your skill sets, the skills that you identify, and being really clear on the metrics are almost going to guarantee you to be in that position. Okay, so let's look at the future self from the business perspective. Now, keeping the current role that you have in terms of this game that we're going to play, look out 12 to 24 months. And if we go back to the size of the industry, the amount of individuals in the industry, and where you might see yourself having fit in the mix, right? Are you the top 1%, top 5%, top 10%, top 10? Are you somewhere in the middle of the pack? Wherever you are, or wherever any of us are, there's always room for improvement. So if you were to move the needle, advance your ranking, if you will, here's a couple things to be thinking about. What are the 5 character traits, right, that would define you? That if you've looked at the individuals that you believe are at the top tiers, they have certain character traits, right? So what are the character traits you would possess or you would fine-tune or that would define you, right, as you moved up the rankings? Now here's an important one. What are the 5 skills that you really believe you have to master in order to be a major player in the position that you play today, right? To be one of the top individuals, top 1%, 5%, 10%, or be the individual leader of the pack. There are skills that we have to learn. There's always skills that we have to learn, right? We never arrive. So what would be the 5 that you would need to master? Now think about habits, right? We're the net result of the things that we do day in and day out. So what would the 5 habits, or what would be your 5 best habits, right? If you looked at the future version of yourself, moving up the rankings in your profession, right? If you had to adapt or adopt or modify or add, what are the 5 best habits that you'd have? Now think of also the importance of the business criteria, right? In the role that you play, what are the daily expectations? What are those daily metrics? What do you have to perform to daily, weekly, that leads to monthly, and quarterly? What are you measuring? It's very important to measure so that as you improve your skills, think about where you're trying to get so that each day you're making progress. That's the best most of us can hope for in the great game of life, is that we're making progress. So where are you now? Where do you want to be? What are the skills that you have to master, right? What are the things maybe that you want to stop doing? What are the habits that you want to develop? Right? And if you think about those individuals, they have character traits. What are the character traits that you want to fine-tune so that when somebody does this exercise from a different place in space and time, they look to you, right, as the avatar or the model of somebody who's cracked the code on how to perform at this position at the highest level. Everything is trainable. When you think about those individuals that have or leading the pack, and you see yourself moving up in that pack, right? There are characteristic traits that you're going to look at in terms of fine-tuning. There are skills that you're going to work to develop, right? There are probably some things that you're going to want to let go of or no longer do. Habits that become part of your day in and day out of activities, your behaviors. If you look at these action steps, they're repeatable day in and day out. There's a formula that got those individuals to the top of the charts. Following that formula, using your skill sets, the skills that you identify, and being really clear on the metrics, are almost going to guarantee you to be in that position. But I'll tell you something, as easy as this sounds, right? It's hard, it's difficult. You get to do it, you don't have to do it. But if you want to play the game of life at a higher level, right? To use the gifts that you've been given, to do something really unique and special, why not find out what you're capable of? Why not be the individual others talk about to say, wow, one day I want to be in the shoes of that individual who seems to have cracked the code on playing the game of life professionally at a high level. I'm going to follow those action steps.